Have you ever felt like you're meant for something more, but just can't find the way? Sometimes it feels like life's biggest questions go unanswered, leaving us searching, trying to unlock a deeper purpose. Here's the surprising truth. What if the key to that purpose isn't found in more striving, but in listening to a divine guide that's been with you all along? The Holy Spirit has the power to not only reveal new paths, but also to transform you from the inside out, no matter where you're starting from. Imagine a life where struggles don't hold you back, where decisions come with clarity, and where peace replaces anxiety. That's the power of the Holy Spirit, able to renew, to heal, and to lead you toward a life full of purpose. Ready to start that journey? Don't miss out on the rest of this video. If you're ready to dive deeper, make sure to like this video and follow the channel so you don't miss more life-changing content. Picture the Holy Spirit as this divine presence, always nearby, not just watching from afar but right there beside you, ready to turn your struggles into victories. This power goes beyond what the eye can see. It's a constant guide that moves mountains of limitations and opens doors where only walls existed. Imagine feeling the Holy Spirit as a practical force in your life, an invisible yet mighty support, available for every area you're yearning to change. The Holy Spirit doesn't work on the surface. He goes deep, reshaping the most intimate parts of you. Think of that anxiety you struggle to manage, or those times you feel like nothing's ever enough. Instead of handling all that alone, He steps in, not just pointing out what needs change, but showing you how to gradually overcome those barriers. And He starts right there, at the roots, so the transformation is lasting and real. Now imagine having that kind of power at your fingertips, one that wants to equip you to be a stronger, more grounded version of yourself. The Holy Spirit doesn't just point out the path. He provides the tools, insight, and courage you need to take each step with confidence. When fear tries to hold you back, He's the push that helps you move forward, even if the next step isn't fully clear. And you realize you're not walking alone. This transformative power shows up in practical, everyday ways too, like when He helps you make wise choices or interact with people more peacefully and harmoniously. He offers discernment, that clarity that emerges when your mind is flooded with doubts and worries. Like when you feel prompted to speak a word of encouragement to someone, only to find out it's exactly what they needed to hear. That's His presence at work. And this transformative power isn't just about changing yourself, it's about transforming the environment around you. When you're moved by this force, your presence starts to influence others, and you become a channel of peace and hope, even in the most chaotic places. This power isn't meant to be kept. It's given to be shared, to inspire, and to help those around you. So the Holy Spirit invites you to discover the purpose behind each transformation. Each small step is a part of a bigger plan He's crafted for your life. Do you feel the urge to open yourself up to this force? Because when you do, everything starts to align in ways you never expected. And this is only the beginning. Throughout history, God has chosen people like Abraham and Mary, calling them not because of their perfection, but because of their faith and openness to His purpose. Just imagine Abraham, who left everything he knew behind, or Mary, who accepted a role that would change the world, all because they trusted God's voice. And this isn't just ancient history. The Holy Spirit still calls people today, giving them purpose and the power to fulfill it. When God calls, He equips. You may wonder if you're enough to fulfill what He's placed on your heart, but the Holy Spirit steps in, filling in every gap. Just as Moses found courage despite his doubts, God provides what's needed to go beyond your limitations. That sense of insecurity? It fades as you realize that the Holy Spirit is there, ready to empower you, just as He did with all who have answered His call before. There's something beautiful about stepping into a calling with full trust, knowing it's not just about you. Picture yourself on a journey where each step is guided, where you don't have to know everything in advance. Think of it as being in a partnership with the Holy Spirit, who not only leads but also strengthens you in ways you never thought possible. It's a journey of faith, built on daily reliance on His wisdom. And this calling isn't reserved for certain chosen ones. It's a gift available to all who are open to it. Maybe you feel called to serve in your community, or perhaps to be a source of support for your family. When that calling comes, know that the Holy Spirit is already preparing you, equipping you with exactly what you'll need. Embrace it, even if it feels daunting, because He'll empower you each step of the way. Sometimes, fulfilling that calling involves waiting, learning patience, and growing through experiences that seem unrelated at first. Just like David, who was anointed long before he became king, your calling may unfold gradually, teaching you lessons along the way. The Holy Spirit uses these moments to shape you, to build resilience and prepare you for what lies ahead. He's always working, even when you can't see it. As you lean into this calling, the Spirit's guidance becomes clearer, helping you see beyond the present moment. There's an excitement in knowing that what lies ahead is not only significant, but also beyond what you could achieve on your own. Do you feel that nudge, that pull to step into something greater? Because once you do, the journey takes on a life of its own, filled with purpose and strength. True transformation isn't just about changing habits. It's about letting the Holy Spirit work deeply within, so that real change happens from the inside out. Imagine the difference between surface adjustments and heart-level transformation. Through the Holy Spirit, qualities like love, joy, and peace start to grow naturally, becoming woven into who you are. This change is lasting, rooted in the Spirit's influence rather than mere willpower. The fruit of the Spirit shows up in practical ways that affect daily life. Think of love. This isn't just kindness. It's a love that's selfless, patient, and forgiving, even in tough situations. Or consider joy, not just fleeting happiness, but a steady sense of well-being, even when life gets tough. These aren't things you have to force. They flow from a life surrendered to the Spirit, revealing a depth of character that nothing else can create. In every area of your life, this transformation becomes evident. Perhaps you've noticed moments where you used to react with anger, but now respond with patience. Or times when anxiety would have overwhelmed you, but now, peace fills your mind. These are signs that the Holy Spirit is at work, gradually shaping you to reflect a higher character. The beauty of it is that it's not about being perfect, but about growing closer to what God envisions for you. This transformation isn't just for your own benefit, it impacts others around you. When people see love, patience, and kindness consistently flowing from you, it plants seeds in their hearts as well. You become a living example of the Spirit's power, showing what's possible when someone lets the Spirit shape their life. Even if they don't know exactly why you're different, they'll notice the change, and it could lead them to seek something greater. What's remarkable is that the Spirit continues to work, constantly refining and developing your character. It's an ongoing journey, where every experience, challenge, and triumph becomes part of the process. Each day offers a new opportunity to grow, to become more patient, more kind, more grounded in love. And as you embrace this growth, you find a sense of fulfillment that can't be matched by anything else. So, as this transformation of character unfolds, there's a sense of anticipation for what comes next. The Holy Spirit's work is far from finished, and as you continue to grow, you're drawn deeper into a life that's richer, more meaningful, and full of purpose. The Holy Spirit gives a unique kind of courage, one that empowers you to speak truth even when it's uncomfortable. This isn't about shouting from a mountaintop, it's about standing firm in love, letting your life be a testimony to God's power. Imagine the impact of living so boldly and lovingly that people around you can't help but wonder what drives you. This is the kind of courage that changes hearts, sometimes without a single word spoken. Courage through the Spirit shows up in the everyday, from simple acts of kindness to moments of moral conviction. Think of those times when staying silent might feel easier, but something within urges you to speak up, to be that voice of truth. The Spirit enables this, not by forcing, but by gently encouraging you to act in love. And when you do, the impact can be profound, reaching people in ways you may never fully realize. Through testimony, you're called to be a light in places that need hope, where people are lost, discouraged, or struggling. The Holy Spirit equips you for these moments, giving you the words to say, or sometimes, the silence that speaks volumes. Think of Peter, who went from denying Christ to boldly proclaiming His name. That same Spirit empowers you, giving you strength in situations that might otherwise make you feel small or fearful. Even when fear tries to creep in, the Spirit's courage is stronger, a steady assurance that God is with you. You may face rejection, doubt, or even ridicule, but the Spirit provides a resilience that allows you to keep going. This isn't about being fearless, it's about trusting that God's purpose for you is bigger than any obstacle. With the Spirit's courage, you're able to stand firm, knowing that each step of faith makes a difference. Your life becomes a living testimony, not just in big moments but in the day-to-day as well. The Holy Spirit doesn't just work through grand gestures. He moves in small, meaningful ways that people notice. A listening ear, a comforting word, a genuine smile. These are all acts of courage, testifying to a love that goes beyond personal comfort or convenience. As this courage continues to grow, there's a sense that something greater is unfolding. The Spirit's strength opens doors to share your faith in ways you never imagined, making every moment an opportunity to be a light. And just think, what would it be like to walk with that kind of courage every day? An intimate communion with the Holy Spirit is like having a close friend who truly understands every part of you. Imagine waking up each day knowing that there's a divine presence eager to walk with you, ready to guide and comfort you through whatever lies ahead. This relationship isn't distant or reserved, it's deeply personal, as if you're sharing your life with someone who genuinely cares. The Holy Spirit becomes that friend, that guide, that confidant. This communion invites you into a daily dialogue, a constant connection that's not just about prayers or rituals, but about a real relationship. Think about the trust that builds over time, like any friendship that grows deeper the more you invest in it. The Holy Spirit waits for that daily invitation, a quiet moment where you acknowledge His presence and open your heart. Imagine what it would be like to approach each decision, each challenge, with the wisdom of a divine friend by your side. In this closeness, the Spirit shapes your perspective, helping you see life through a different lens. It's as though you begin to notice things you'd previously overlooked, the beauty in simple moments, the significance of acts of kindness. The Spirit softens your heart, making you more sensitive to others and more aware of how God is moving in your life. You start seeing each day as a series of divine opportunities to grow, to learn, and to love. This relationship with the Holy Spirit also brings a peace that settles deep within, grounding you when life feels overwhelming. You may face storms and uncertainties, but this communion keeps you anchored. Picture the calm that comes from knowing you're not alone, that there's someone wiser and stronger holding you steady. The Holy Spirit becomes your constant source of comfort, a reminder that no matter what, you are cared for and understood. Through this intimate connection, the Holy Spirit reveals things about yourself, leading you toward purpose and growth. He points out areas where healing is needed, where strength can be built, and where love can flourish. It's a journey of self-discovery, guided by the one who knows you best. Every moment spent in communion brings you closer to the person you were created to be, aligning your heart with God's plan. And as you lean into this relationship, you feel a pull toward even greater closeness, a sense that there's always more to discover. With each passing day, the Holy Spirit invites you to experience a deeper, richer communion, one that will continue to shape every part of who you are. Renewing your mind through the Holy Spirit is like opening a window to let fresh air into a room that's been closed up for too long. Imagine shifting from thoughts that weigh you down to perspectives that lift you up, thoughts aligned with truth and hope. The Holy Spirit has this power to transform your thinking, helping you break free from limiting beliefs, worries, and doubts that cloud your view. Bit by bit, He clears away the clutter, making space for clarity and purpose. This renewal isn't just about positive thinking, it's about grounding yourself in a truth that's solid, a truth that withstands life's uncertainties. Think about the freedom that comes from releasing fear or shame, things that might have held you back for years. When the Spirit renews your mind, those old chains start to fall away, replaced by a new sense of possibility. You begin to believe in what God says about you, letting that truth reshape how you see yourself and the world around you. In practical ways, this renewal impacts every area of life. You may find that where you once struggled with insecurity, there's now a sense of confidence. Or that instead of reacting in anger, you're able to respond with patience. These changes are subtle but profound, reflecting the Spirit's work in your mind and heart. It's like rewiring an old circuit. Gradually, you're learning to respond to life from a place of wisdom and peace rather than fear or frustration. This change of mindset doesn't happen overnight. It's a daily journey, one where the Spirit gently nudges you toward growth. Some days, it might be about noticing negative thoughts and choosing not to dwell on them. Other days, it's learning to focus on gratitude or seeing challenges as opportunities for growth. These small, consistent shifts add up, creating a mindset that's resilient and hopeful, built on the foundation of faith. The Holy Spirit invites you to let go of thoughts that no longer serve you, replacing them with ones that align with God's purpose. Imagine the strength that comes from thinking with clarity, from viewing life's challenges not as setbacks but as steps in your journey. This is the kind of mental renewal that empowers you to live fully, grounded in truth and open to possibility. And as this renewal unfolds, you find yourself drawn even closer to the Spirit, realizing that this journey of growth is only just beginning. There's so much more to discover, so many more layers of thought and belief waiting to be transformed. Learning to hear the Holy Spirit's voice is like tuning a radio, adjusting to catch a frequency that brings clarity and direction amid the noise of life. Imagine being able to sense the gentle guidance in your heart, even when everything around you feels chaotic. The Holy Spirit speaks in a language unique to each of us, often through quiet thoughts, subtle nudges, or an inner peace that feels unmistakably reassuring. This listening requires patience and practice, a willingness to pause and wait. Think about those moments when you feel uncertain, facing choices that could change everything. The Spirit's voice is that calm presence within, helping you navigate through confusion. It's not always a loud or obvious answer. Sometimes it's a whisper, a deep sense of knowing that pulls you in the right direction. Developing this awareness means giving yourself space and time to really listen. In everyday life, the Spirit's guidance can be surprisingly practical. Maybe it's a thought to check on a friend or an idea that brings a fresh solution to a problem. When you follow these small nudges, you start to see how connected the Spirit is to each part of your life. It's a relationship where He cares about both the big and small details, offering insight that's always timely and wise. By trusting in this guidance, you build a deep sense of confidence and connection. At times, hearing the Spirit's voice means discerning between what's true and what simply feels urgent. With so many demands for our attention, it's easy to mistake loudness for importance. But the Holy Spirit teaches discernment, helping you recognize the difference. It's a gentle process of learning to let go of distractions and focus on what really matters. As you grow in this practice, you start to find peace even in decisions that once felt overwhelming. The beauty of this journey is that the Spirit is patient, always ready to guide, even if you miss the message the first time. Like learning any new language, it takes time to fully understand. But each step brings you closer, building trust and helping you recognize that voice even in life's busiest moments. The more you tune in, the more natural it becomes, as though the Spirit's voice is becoming part of your own thoughts. And as you lean into this relationship, the Spirit invites you to discover even more, leading you deeper into wisdom and insight. Imagine what it would be like to walk every day with this kind of guidance, a constant source of strength and clarity. Learning to hear the Holy Spirit's voice is like tuning a radio, adjusting to catch a frequency that brings clarity and direction amid the noise of life. Imagine being able to sense that gentle guidance in your heart, even when everything around you feels chaotic. The Holy Spirit speaks in a language unique to each of us, often through quiet thoughts, subtle nudges, or an inner peace that feels unmistakably reassuring. This listening requires patience and practice, a willingness to pause and wait. Think about those moments when you feel uncertain, facing choices that could change everything. The Spirit's voice is that calm presence within, helping you navigate through confusion. It's not always a loud or obvious answer. Sometimes it's a whisper, a deep sense of knowing that pulls you in the right direction. Developing this awareness means giving yourself space and time to really listen. In everyday life, the Spirit's guidance can be surprisingly practical. Maybe it's a thought to check on a friend or an idea that brings a fresh solution to a problem. When you follow these small nudges, you start to see how connected the Spirit is to each part of your life. It's a relationship where He cares about both the big and small details, offering insight that's always timely and wise. By trusting in this guidance, you build a deep sense of confidence and connection. At times, hearing the Spirit's voice means discerning between what's true and what simply feels urgent. With so many demands for our attention, it's easy to mistake loudness for importance. But the Holy Spirit teaches discernment, helping you recognize the difference. It's a gentle process of learning to let go of distractions and focus on what really matters. As you grow in this practice, you start to find peace even in decisions that once felt overwhelming. The beauty of this journey is that the Spirit is patient, always ready to guide, even if you miss the message the first time. Like learning any new language, it takes time to fully understand. But each step brings you closer, building trust and helping you recognize that voice even in life's busiest moments. The more you tune in, the more natural it becomes, as though the Spirit's voice is becoming part of your own thoughts. And as you lean into this relationship, the Spirit invites you to discover even more, leading you deeper into wisdom and insight. Imagine what it would be like to walk every day with this kind of guidance, a constant source of strength and clarity.